Let me ask you something. How many times have you told yourself, "That's it. This is the last time. I'm done." And then, just a few hours later, you find yourself doing the exact same thing again. You delete the app, then reinstall it. You throw away the cigarettes and buy another pack. You say, "I'll just check Instagram for 5 minutes." Next thing you know, 2 hours have disappeared. Sound familiar? Here's the truth. Bad habits are not about weakness. They're a loop. A loop your brain keeps running on repeat. And until you break that loop the right way, you'll always feel stuck. But in this video, I'm going to break it down for you, step by step, how to finally break any bad habit or addiction. No quick fixes, no gimmicks. Just real strategies backed by psychology and actual experience. And trust me, if you stick with me until the end, you'll walk away with a practical roadmap that can change your life. So, let's start here. Why are bad habits so hard to quit? It's because your brain isn't wired for growth. It's wired for comfort. Think about it. When you're stressed, bored, or lonely, your brain craves something that gives quick relief. Smoking, scrolling, drinking, binge eating, endless gaming. All these things trigger dopamine, that feel-good chemical in your brain. It feels amazing in the moment. But later, the guilt kicks in. And here's the problem. Your brain doesn't care about the guilt. It only remembers the pleasure. That's why the habit loop keeps repeating. Every single habit follows the same cycle. Cue gives craving, gives routine, gives reward. That's the loop. And until you interrupt one part of this cycle, you'll keep falling into the same trap over and over again. So, how do we break it? Let's dive in. Step 1. Awareness is power. Most people try to fight bad habits using willpower. They say things like, "I'll just stop." But here's the problem. Willpower is like your phone battery. It runs out fast. And once it drains, you give in. So instead of relying on willpower, start with awareness. You need to notice when and why you do your bad habit. Is it because you're stressed, bored, lonely? Is it at a certain time of day? For example, I used to check my phone the second I woke up. Not because I cared about notifications, but because I felt anxious about starting the day. My brain wanted comfort before facing reality. So instead of asking, "How do I stop scrolling?" I asked, "What feeling am I trying to escape?" And that question changed everything. Here's an exercise for you. For the next 7 days, every time you do your bad habit, write this down. What triggered it? What time was it? How did you feel before? How did you feel after? Do this and you'll start seeing patterns. And once you see the pattern, breaking it becomes so much easier. Step 2. Don't just remove it. Replace it. This is the biggest mistake people make. They try to quit cold turkey. They throw away the cigarettes. They delete the app. They uninstall the game. But they forget one thing. You can't just remove a habit. You have to replace it. Why? Because habits are your brain's way of solving a problem. If you remove the solution, the problem stays. And your brain will find another way to cope. Maybe something even worse. So instead of saying, "I won't do this anymore," ask, "What can I do instead?" For example, if you smoke when you're stressed, replace it with deep breathing, a short walk, or chewing gum. If you scroll social media when you're bored, replace it with reading a short article, listening to a podcast, or calling a friend. If you binge eat at night, swap the chips for healthier snacks, or journal how you're feeling instead of eating your emotions. The key is to give your brain a new reward. Something healthier, but still comforting. Because here's the truth, your brain hates a vacuum. If you just remove a habit and don't replace it, another bad one will sneak in. Step 3. Change your environment now. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You promise yourself you're going to eat healthy, but there's a pack of cookies in your kitchen. You swear you'll stop scrolling, but your phone is sitting right next to your bed. See the problem? Your environment shapes your habits way more than your motivation does. So here's the trick. Make bad habits harder and good habits easier. Want to stop snacking? Don't keep junk food in the house. Stock your fridge with fruits and put them where you can see them. Want to stop scrolling endlessly? Charge your phone in another room at night. Want to quit smoking? Stop hanging out in the places where you used to smoke. This isn't about discipline. It's about design. If you design your environment for success, you won't have to fight temptation every second of the day. Step 4. The power of small wins. Here's another common mistake people make when trying to break a bad habit. They aim too big, too fast. They say things like, "I'll quit forever. I'll never touch it again. Starting tomorrow, I'll wake up at 5 a.m. every single day." Sounds great, right? But then reality hits. Life gets stressful. You miss one day. Suddenly, the whole plan falls apart. So instead, focus on small wins. Don't say, "I'll never drink soda again." Say, "Today, I'll replace one soda with water." Don't say, "I'll quit scrolling forever." Say, "I'll stay off my phone for the first 10 minutes after I wake up." Why? Because success builds momentum. Every small win sends a dopamine hit to your brain. That's the same chemical that habits use to hook you in. But now, you're using it in your favor. And here's the golden rule. Consistency beats intensity. It's not about going big for one day. It's about making small changes every day until they become second nature. Step 5. Accountability and support. Now, this next one is a game changer. We don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. And one of the strongest systems you can have is accountability. Tell a friend, join a support group, share your progress online, or use an app that tracks your streaks. Why does this work? Because your brain doesn't want the pain of letting others down. That social pressure can keep you going when motivation fades. When I was trying to quit a bad habit, I had an accountability partner. And here's the deal. Every time I slipped, I had to confess to her. Do you think I wanted to make that phone call? No way. And that alone made me think twice before giving in. You can also make it fun by adding a reward or a penalty. For example, if you stick to your goal for 7 days, treat yourself to something small. If you fail, maybe you donate to a cause you don't support. Trust me, that one works. Closing parenthesis. The point is this. Don't fight your habits alone. Surround yourself with people or tools that keep you accountable. Step 6. Forgive yourself, but don't quit now. Let's get real. You're going to slip up at some point. Everyone does. The difference between people who break bad habits and those who stay stuck for years. How they respond when they fail. One cigarette doesn't make you a smoker again. One binge scroll doesn't mean you're addicted forever. One mistake is not failure, it's feedback. So when you mess up, don't beat yourself up. Instead ask, why did I slip? What triggered it? What can I change in my system next time? Forgive yourself and keep going. Because the only way to truly fail is to give up completely before we move on. Let me remind you, awareness gives you control. Replacement gives you a plan. Environment makes it easier. Small wins build momentum. Accountability gives you support. Forgiveness keeps you moving forward. But there's one last piece of the puzzle, and it's the most important. Without it, everything else falls apart. Do you want me to continue with part 3, where we talk about finding your deeper why and creating unshakable motivation? Step 7. Find your deeper why. This is the most important step. If you miss this, nothing else will stick. Here's the truth. If you're quitting just because you should, it won't last. You need a reason that goes deeper than that. Something meaningful. You want to quit smoking. Don't just do it for your health. Do it because you want to live long enough to see your kids grow up. You want to stop wasting time online. Don't just do it for productivity. Do it because you want to build the life you've been dreaming of. You want to break free from addiction. Don't just do it to survive. Do it for freedom. The freedom to live life on your own terms. Your why is your anchor. Every time temptation shows up, remind yourself, my future is more important than this moment. That sentence alone can save you when willpower runs out. Breaking habits is about progress, not perfection. Here's something you need to tattoo in your brain. Breaking a bad habit is not about being perfect. It's about progress. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and become a whole new person. But every single day, you can make a choice that takes you closer to who you want to be. Step by step, day by day, you are rewiring your brain. You are building a system that works for you instead of against you. Because at the end of the day, it's not your goals that shape your life. It's your habits. Your habits create your future. Quick recap of the 7 steps before we wrap up. Let's go over everything one more time. Awareness is power. Notice when and why you do it. Replace. Don't just remove. Give your brain a new solution. Change your environment. Make good habits easy. Bad ones hard. Small wins. Focus on progress, not perfection. Accountability and support. Don't fight alone. Forgive yourself. But don't quit. Failure is feedback, not the end. Find your deeper why. The reason that keeps you going when everything else fails. If you follow these steps, I promise you can break any bad habit. Not overnight, but for good. Now it's your turn. If this video gave you even one practical tip that you're going to use, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe for more